like the video.
I don't even really have words for what we're about to do today, but long story short, Brad Paisley, popular country artist, and LL Cool J, hip-hop legend, or so I thought, came together to create this song that's called Accidental Racist. And if you think that it sounds concerning, then just wait until we actually listen to it, because it is not. It's one thing for a song to not be good. It's another for you to actively wish that a song did not exist. Derapy. So just to be clear about this song's intention, Brad Paisley got some funny looks from at least one black person that witnessed him wearing a shirt with a Confederate flag on it.
Good.
And apparently the song was also inspired by the films Lincoln and Django Unchained. And at least a little bit of thought was put into this. He's like, maybe I shouldn't try and end racism without including some other black guy that people like and take seriously. Enter LL Cool J. So we're going to listen to this song together and try and figure out what is really going on here.
To the man that waited on me at the Starbucks down on Main, I hope you understand. When I put on that t-shirt, the only thing I meant to say is I'm a Skinner fan.
First of all, I don't think that Skinner should be thrown into the mix here and have to assume any responsibility for what this song is. But the song begins with, to the man that waited on me at the Starbucks down on Main. I hope you understand. When I put on that t-shirt, the only thing I meant to say is that I'm a Skinner fan. So my thing is, like, what exactly does Skinner have to do with being an accidental racist? Like, I would just not appreciate being included in a song like this. What's even more annoying about this is that, according to Genius, Lynyrd Skynyrd used to have merchandise that included the stars and the bars in their merchandise, but in 2012 they vowed to stop using the Confederate flag in their visuals. So right off rip, like, you are already throwing in the mix people that want no association with the thing that you're trying to defend. So you should probably just stop the song, but unfortunately that is not the case. Actually, you know what? This is really important, okay? So this quote from the guitarist from Lynyrd Skynyrd said, quote, "It became such an issue about race and stuff where we had it in the beginning," he's talking about the flag, "because we were Southern, and that was our image back in the 70s and late 60s. But I think through the years, people like the KKK and skinheads and people kind of kidnapped the Dixie Rebel flag from the Southern and the heritage of the soldiers. We didn't want that to go to our fans or show the image like we agreed with any of the race stuff or any of the bad things." So these people who you are bringing up to say that, oh, I'm just doing it because I'm a fan of them, they were like, well, racists are using that flag to do racist things, so maybe we shouldn't use it because it makes people feel like we're in with the racists. They get it, and somehow you don't. What? But let's continue with the song.
The red flag on my chest somehow is like the elephant in the corner of the South. And I just walked him right in the room. Just a proud rebel son with an old can of worms, looking like I got a lot to learn. But from my point of view,
what sucks is the song doesn't even sound bad. Like, Brad Paisley is actually a good singer, a good performer. Like the instruments sound good. Like, dude's been doing this for a while. It's just the ignorance on this one is just insane. So he ends this verse by saying, the red flag on my chest somehow is like the elephant in the corner of the South. Like, this is actually good writing if it made more sense, because, you know, instead of elephant in the room, he's like, it's elephant in the corner of the South, you know, southeast of the country. Like, it's kind of a bar, but it's also dumb because he's saying, oh, people don't want to talk about this old stuff. And it's like, no, when we see you doing it, we're definitely talking about it, which is why the song got such a terrible feedback and criticism. And he ends his verse by saying, just a proud rebel son with an old can of worms. It's
gonna be okay, man.
Spoiler alert, okay? as a black person, I think anybody rocking the Confederate flag in any manner is ridiculous. I don't think there's any reason to take an extraordinary amount of pride in the fact that you happen to be born in a certain part of the country. You had nothing to do with that. It just happened to be the place where your parents were getting it on. So you happen to pop out there. There's nothing to be proud of. I was born in the Northeast, and I was only there for like 10 months, and then my parents moved south. Regardless of whether I stayed up there, regardless of the fact that I've been in the South my whole life, I'm not proud of either of these things. I just happen to be here. You should be proud of like what you do with your life, not where you just happen to be as a baby. Like, stop it.
Okay.
Stop.
You're right.
Stop!
I'm stopping.
I'm just a white man coming to you from the Southland, trying to understand what it's like not to be. I'm proud of where I'm from, but not everything we've done. And it ain't like you and me can rewrite history. Our generation didn't start this nation. We're still picking up the pieces, walking on eggshells, fighting over yesterday, and caught between Southern pride and Southern blame.
Okay, so let me tell you why this very well-sung hook has lyrics that are straight cat piss, okay? So Brad says he's just one white man coming to you from the Southland. First of all, you were born in West Virginia, which is part of the Union, not the Confederacy or this Southland you claim to be so proud of. Open a book, you absolute wing-wong. Secondly, he says he's not proud of everything they've done. You didn't do anything. You're saying it has nothing to do with you. Imagine trying to loop yourself in with the wrong team just so you can say, I'm not proud of everything that, some of these other guys have done. It had nothing to do with you. I thought that was the point of the song. Then he says, it ain't like you and me could rewrite history. No one is trying to do that. Except for you, actually, in the first verse where you're like, I don't know why everybody's looking at me all crazy because of this flag on my shirt. I'm just a Skynyrd fan. Like, you don't know what the flag represents outside of that. The gaslighting is insulting. Insulting? And you're a bozo.
Loser.
And then he talks about picking up the pieces, walking on eggshells, and fighting over yesterday. Mind you, this song was released in 2013 after Obama just won his second election by a landslide. We're not picking up the pieces at this point. This guy's acting like people telling him not to wear a racist shirt is walking on eggshells. It's really not that hard to not do anything that makes black people uncomfortable as far as your attire. You're literally a famous country singer. Like, you're doing fine. You don't have to walk on eggshells. You just have to not make this cringe ass music. Being caught between Southern pride and Southern blame, it sounds cool, but I'm here to remind you again, the very concept of Southern pride is baffling to me. You have nothing to be proud of. Some losers were like, we're so sick of this stupid country trying to keep us from having slaves. We're going to quit. We're going to start our own country. And then they failed. Are you proud to be a loser? Because I wouldn't be. Also, again, had nothing to do with you. You just happen to be born in the southern part of the country, which is debatable because, again, West Virginia wasn't even a part of the people that were rocking the flag. You nincompoop. But anyways, yeah, here's the second verse.
They called it Reconstruction. Fixed the buildings, dried some tears. We're still sifting through the rubble after 150 years. I'll try to put myself in your shoes, and that's a good place to begin. It ain't like I can walk a mile in someone else's skin, 'cause I'm a...
Enough of that.
I don't really appreciate the tone of fix the buildings, dried some tears, sifting through the rubble after 150 years. Whose tears exactly? Could we be a little bit more specific about that? For someone that's trying to combat prejudice, I'm going to need you to elaborate just a little bit. What rubble are we sifting through? Who was at fault? Remind me, please. Then we end with, I try to put myself in your shoes, but it ain't like I can walk a mile in someone else's skin. So, I guess he's done trying to, really put himself there. So we get the hook again where Brad says he's still paying for his mistakes. Is the paying of your mistakes in the room with us right now? Can anybody see them? And then we get a verse from LL Cool J, of all people. And it pains me to say this. I mean, not really, but it's just kind of an unfortunate coincidence. I happen to not be a huge fan of LL Cool J's music. I never hear it. I never go out of my way to listen to it. So when I listen to this is kind of like my point of reference for him. When I think of LL Cool J rapping, I will now think of this verse, and I feel like that is very unfortunate. I bet he would not appreciate knowing that. But this might be your only frame of reference for LL Cool J rapping too. And if that has to be the case for me, it's going to be the case for you too. Let's listen to what he has to add to this brilliant piece of art here.
Dear Mr. White Man, I wish you understood what the world is really like when you're living in the hood. Just because my pants are sagging doesn't mean I'm up to no good. You should try to get to know me. I really wish you would.
First of all, this flow is terrible. The rhyme's garbage. Delivery, it's suffering through it. I am. Like, what is this? Dear Mr. White Man, I wish you understood what the world is really like when you're living in the hood. Just because my pants are sagging doesn't mean I'm up to no good.
You should try to get to know me. I really wish you would.
I want to end it.
He's talking about the podcast, not life.
This is a horrible, okay? And it pains me. The fact that Brad Paisley's audience probably doesn't listen to rap at all. And if this is their first introduction to it, I promise you it gets better than this, okay? Brad Paisley's fans probably hear this and they're like, oh, LL Cool J, wow, he's really got something to say. No, he doesn't. Also, I just hate that the stand-in for a black person in this situation is somebody that's from the hood whose pants are sagging and you think is up to no good. Like, this is so embarrassing as a black person that's a fan of rap to listen to. Like, what is this?
Now my chains are gold, but I'm still misunderstood. I wasn't there when Sherman's march turned the South into firewood. I want you to get paid, but be a slave, I never could. Feel like a newfangled Django dodging invisible white hoods. So when I see that white cowboy hat, I'm thinking it's not all good. I guess we're both guilty of judging the cover, not the book. I'd love to buy you a beer, conversate and clear the air, but I see that red flag and I think you wish I wasn't here.
Okay, now this last hook with LL Cool J on the ad-libs is peak harmful to your soul. But first, may I just reiterate, I think LL Cool J might have 7-minute drilled this. He might have wrote this in 5 minutes. I wish you understood. Living in the hood, up to no good. Wish you would. Misunderstood. Firewood. Never could. White hoods. All good. Not the book. Clear the air. Wish I wasn't here. These are not good rhymes. This is not on its, like, with Brad Paisley, you're like, the message is dog water, but at least he sounds good singing. LL Cool J, the message, the message sucks, and the rapping is bad. Like, there is no excuse for this. I'd love to buy you a beer, conversate and clear the air, but I see that red flag and I think you wish I wasn't here. So like at the end of the verse, he's like, I'm still not comfortable with this thing that you've been singing about trying to defend. And then he's like, I guess we're both guilty of judging the cover by the book. What? Hold on. So in this hypothetical situation, there's this white dude with a cowboy hat and a Confederate flag, and then there's a black dude with like gold chains and sagging, and we're like, oh, I guess we both judged the book by the cover here. Did you though? I think it's fair to say that a dude walking around with a Confederate flag is generally inconsiderate and or ignorant, and a dude that's walking around with his pants sagging, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up by a belt. But I also just hate that this has to get included in this song here. Like, on any given day, you're not walking around imagining the average black person as somebody that's from the hood, sagging their pants, rocking gold chains. Like, maybe I don't get out that often, but I just don't look at like the average black person is like I don't see that as a representative of us as an entire like kind, as an entire culture. Like I just don't view us that way. But that's how LL Cool J and Brad Paisley want us to look in this song, and it makes me sick. It just makes me physically ill. Like not ill in the cool way like Wayne used to say. I mean like I need Pepto-Bismol. Now let's listen to this last hook and prepare your body.
If you don't judge my durag, I won't judge your red flag.
If you don't judge my durag, I won't judge your red flag. Every day we stray further from God's light. Do I have to explain why a black person wearing a durag is different from somebody wearing a shirt with the flag worn by those who wanted to preserve slavery? Do I have to explain that? I don't think I have to. Let's just continue with the hook.
Judge your red flag.
Trying to understand what it's like not to be. I'm proud of where
If you don't judge my gold
but
chains,
not everything we've done.
I'll forget the iron chains.
If you don't judge my gold chains, I'll forget the iron chains. I feel like I don't use this phrase enough. Actually, that's not true. I mean, I don't use this phrase often because oftentimes it doesn't apply, but this is indefensible. This, I don't know how old LL Cool J was when this song released. That's my editor's job.
He was 45 years old.
This is insane. It's not just bad, it's wrong. It is shameful. If you don't judge my gold chains, I'll forget the iron chains. If you could just stop looking at black people, successful black people that want to rock jewelry, rock ice, wear a nice necklace, like, if you don't judge me for that, then all that slavery stuff, all that Jim Crow, the torture of men, the rape of women, I'll let all that stuff slide. Just stop judging, okay? Just stop judging me and my sagging pants and my gold chains and my do-rag. If you don't judge my gold chains, I'll forget the iron chains. I am actively an LL Cool J hater until otherwise stated. If you're a LL Cool J fan, stand up, make yourself known. Tell me if you knew about this. Tell me how you made sense of this, because this is so embarrassing. Sometimes I see things online where it'll be like, oh, look at Ice Spice, look at Sexy Red, or oh, look at Offset, look at whoever, look at these black people, they're setting us back. This behavior is, I let 9 times out of 10 when I hear somebody talk about how something is setting black people back, I ignore it. It's nonsense. It's way over exaggerated. It's way sensationalized. This is the type of stuff that sets black people back. I'm being so serious right now. If even 100 white people heard this song from Brad Paisley and were like, you know what, if we could just, you know, I bet they would appreciate if we could just stop judging them for the do-rag and the sagging pants. You know, maybe they'll cool it on all that Jim Crow stuff. No. I'm not saying that we should actively currently have anything against white people for things that happened back in the day, but just like acting like these things don't matter at all, like they're not even worth discussing, like it shouldn't be taught in schools, like our children shouldn't be aware of what happened in previous generations to ensure that the behavior doesn't continue, or we don't ever even start to begin to go back to that place. Like, this song is harmful. It is bad. It is bad that even a dozen people might take it seriously. There's nothing good about it. It's a light to decent 0. Let's listen to this outro.
I'm a son of the new South,
The past is the past, you feel me?
and I just want to make things right.
Let Bygones be bygones.
All that's left is Southern pride.
R.I.P. Robert E. Lee.
No. Dude, come on. You're trolling. He's trolling. He's trolling. He's trolling. R.I.P. Robert E. Lee.
Southside.
R.I.P. Robert E. Lee.
Confederacy, stand up.
LL Cool J. The past is the past, you feel me? Let bygones be bygones. R.I.P. Robert E. Lee. LL Cool J.
Die!
I'm sorry.
It was a joke.
I don't mean that. I don't mean that.
It was just a joke.
I hate you.
Oh, I don't know.
What is this? If this was like a Lil Dicky song from 2013, then I would be like, that's crazy. But that's kind of funny. He's dead ass serious here, man. The past is the past, you feel me? After he says R.I.P. Robert E. Lee, but I've got to thank Abraham Lincoln for freeing me. Know what I mean? It's real, it's truth. I hate this.
It was one of the worst performances I've seen in my life. I couldn't sleep last night because
This might be the worst song from two people that were being dead serious. It's probably the worst thing I've ever heard. So, yeah, that's all I've got. If you want to support the channel, for $1, you can become a member and join our members only Discord, where I unfortunately was introduced to this song. If you made it this far, please like the video. If you're an LL Cool J fan, why? If you're a Brad Paisley fan, how did you find this? What's going on? Let's start a dialogue. I'm just kind of speechless at this point. We have a $5 membership tier. Also, if you want to become a certified therapist and get a shout out at the end of the big shows just like this one, yeah.
Shout out to Johnny Car Wash, Dre Benoit, Jordan, On the Hunt Productions, Frame Rate, DC Messina, Emma McCoy, Agony, Rich Mixed, Nate Rubin, Stout Shakeout, High 3, Thomas the Dank Engine, Cuts by Reggie, _Zeus, Whiskey, A-Dizzle921, The Absolute Fucking West, Venomous, Greenberg 305, Shaggers World 999, Blackjack Gaming, Arby Livius, Light Brown Recluse, Jack Santoro, Archeo, Matt Mahoric, Air Wallace, Luis Sanchez, Simply Vibin', Awesome Amy, and Logan Stratton.
Love you. Mean it.
Enjoy the outro.